and also if you know you want to do it, you don't know what tool to use, what product to use. And if you go for bespoke AI solution, comes with a very big price tag. So what we do is try and get you up the AI ladder by using products that are already available. There are so many products in the market. So we use some of those that are already available, build automations, get your data in good shape, so that if and when you want to invest heavily in AI, you're ready for that. So that's one of that. We're also part of Women Defining AI. It's a US-based nonprofit. I'm the UK regional lead for that. And we believe in moving women from being users of AI to builders of AI. By builder, we don't mean just you become a founder or you have a startup. It's building efficiency in your own life using AI. So that's what we do.
Yeah, so moving to the fun part. Can you see what's wrong in this picture? So this is how our current ecosystem looks like when it comes to senior leadership or politics, or you go to a lot of conferences. Of course, MadFest is it's different now and things are changing, but this is like the whole overall ecosystem. In fact, I recently saw one of the EU summit where Trump attended, and there was one lady in striking yellow, and the rest were all men. So, I mean, I've been in marketing for 15 years, and I feel like this is like a deja vu, 15 years, and now you feel like there are hardly any women. So if you're able to read that number and tell me what that figure is how many zeros?
Yep.
Done. So it's 1.5 trillion that'll be invested in AI, and surprisingly, 50% will need upskilling in the next 3 years, like 50% of workforce. And if we just talk about women, they are twice more likely to feel intimidated by AI. And when I'm looking around this room, I think that's where we are with a lot of women. And this is actually a factual thing. And when you look at the stats, it's shocking that out of the 50% who will need upskilling, and then if you have women who are twice more likely to be intimidated, you can see how the gap is going to widen. So before that, I actually also wanted to say that one of the things that when we talk about large language models is that we talk about data set, right? So it's about machines learning from the data set. And if women, every time you opt out, every time you say no to learning anything, you are actually not part of that data set. So if you want to be a part of the large language models or any products and solutions which are enabled for women and by women, you have to say yes and agree to exploring and experimenting the tools in order to be the part of the data set. So that's very important. So before we move on, we thought we'll play this game, which will just get you like a warm-up for what AI can do. So if you can scan that QR code.
So while you're scanning that, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on what this game is. So it's a very simple form. It'll ask you to give your LinkedIn profile. I see they anticipated what's going to come. So you give your LinkedIn profile and your email address, and you will receive an email from us. Basically, with the AI running your LinkedIn profile through its system and figuring out various things about you based on your LinkedIn profile. So the takeaway is basically, if that doesn't resonate with you, you have to go back and change your LinkedIn profile, because that's what people think about you. AI is being used a lot by recruiters, by companies, by people who are looking to sell to you, people who are looking to buy from you. Everyone's using AI now. And they run your LinkedIn profile and anything that is readily available online through their AI process and basically distill information about you. So this is an exercise just to show you what AI would think about you. So that's why this is called Hey AI, Do You Know Me?
Has anybody explored this yet? Would you like to share?
It's working.
Would you like to share? And also, in terms of if you've seen your profile, was there anything surprising that came up, or something interesting, something funny, or did you think that you'd like to actually change your profile after seeing that? Anybody would like to share? It's taking time. You got it? No? Maybe we'll move on, and then maybe we'll get them to share once they have received. It should come on your email.
Is there a Jessica Elliott here? Yes? Would you like, is it okay if I show yours? Yeah? Okay. I don't mean to put you on spot. Is that okay? All right. Can we? Yeah. Okay. So this is Jessica's AI crafted personal brand summary. I create impactful community experience through strategic event management. My expertise blends CSR initiatives with marketing communications to drive positive change. Is that right? That's great. And we looked through to see what are the transferable skills: event management, strategic communication, leadership, community building. You could have some interesting alternate career paths: international festival director, orchestrating large-scale cultural events, adventure tourism operations, and a book on you would be titled Connecting Purpose, From Events to Impact, A Journey Through Strategic Storytelling. And then a blockbuster movie about you would be titled Horizons of Purpose, A Journey in Eventful Impact. And there's an emoji story. So this is just to show that AI was able to glean all this information from all you provided was a single LinkedIn profile, right? Just let that sink in and see how powerful that is. What could you do with that? You're going for a meeting, you're trying to sell someone something, and you have their LinkedIn profile. You could run it through an AI mechanism which can tell you everything about them, what they like. It can search Google, and in one screen, it can tell you your conversation starters. It can tell you what happened with their company in the last couple of weeks, whether they received any funding, whether they were in news. You can have a one-pager which will tell you everything about the person you're about to meet, right? And that's very powerful, and that can be used in any situation. AI is not going to take away your human connection. It is actually going to augment the human connection that you're about to have, right? So this is just an example to show what AI can do.
Do you also want to talk about how you build this?
Oh yeah, so this has been built using something called Gumloop. They are not paying me to say their name. They should though. I use it quite a lot, and I do drop their names quite a bit. So Gumloop is an AI native automation / workflow automation basically. And it uses an AI node which goes and gets LinkedIn profile. It scrapes the profile. This just scrapes the personal profile. You can also scrape company profile. You can scrape jobs out there. You can scrape anything that you want, and it is connected to a Google form, and I built all that automation. So it's connected to the Google form. When you put it, there's an app script, which is a code, which grabs it, calls Gumloop, and then sends an email as me to you all. So that's the...
And this is no coding platform,
This
so
is no
there was
coding.
no coding involved in this.
Yeah. Okay. Should we switch back to that? Thank you.
So yeah, so this is like the wall of truth, where whenever I meet people in the room and I ask them, these are some of the statements that I hear quite a lot. Am I cheating if I use this? How many of you feel like if you use AI, you are cheating? Cheating? Yeah? What if I break it? I'm not sure I'm allowed to use it. So in most of the agencies that I've worked as a freelancer, I say as a freelancer because I'm not tied to be using certain tools, which I'm grateful for because some of them are quite limited. But I always hear that. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. So a lot of people then go home, use their AI tools, come back, and then feed that into their systems. I'm not technical enough because everybody thinks they need coding for this. It looks too complicated. I don't know where to start. I'll just wait until someone else shows me how. So those are the things that come up quite a lot. But then how about if we flip it? So if you're using spell check, that isn't cheating, right? So neither is this. So you use AI as your co-writer, not your con artist. And if you think that it's going to, you're going to break it, it's fine. It's not your ex. It's going to bounce back. Worst case, you can hit undo, start again. If you don't need a permission slip, it's not like Hogwarts, where you have to go and spell check. And then about having that mentality that I'm not technical enough, you have to think about you being the owner of it. You are the key prompter. So don't think about the developer energy because you don't need coding. Has anybody tried to remember Wi-Fi password? They are complicated, right? So if you can remember Wi-Fi password, you can definitely try AI tools. And then that's really flipped for me because, sorry for the men in the room, but usually as we see even when it comes to CV applying jobs, men are happy to put their name forward. And a lot of them, when we look at the stats, there are 85% men using ChatGPT. And it shows that they are using it for pivoting. So it's about knowing that, would you like to be left behind or would you rather give it a go? So that's where I think when you think about those voices in your head, you have to flip them and see from how you can really, really pivot from there.
So I just want to touch base on that 84.5% stat.
Good stat.
Every time I speak, guys, every time. So 84.5% ChatGPT users. It's like the app download, the users of ChatGPT app, out of 100%, 84.5% are men. Only 15% are women. That's a very strong statistic, right? So I think until and unless we use it, we are going to see biases all the time. Even now, ChatGPT has so much bias on. I did a resume. I uploaded a resume with a name which is not very clear whether it's a male or a female. It's actually my niece, and she is in LA. She's an editor. She does movie editing, and I uploaded her resume. And I said, "What do you think of the career prospects of her?" And it came back saying that she's firmly junior. I have a LinkedIn post on it. You can go check on that. She's firmly junior. And then I was like, okay, that seems quite negative. So I opened incognito mode in ChatGPT. And I said, what are the career prospects for him? It said, oh, he should really apply for senior positions. Okay, I kid you not. So this is the ChatGPT that you're going to inherit, your kids are going to inherit. If women do not use it, they are not aware of the biases that are there. If we all don't use it, if we all don't look at it through the gender lens, we're not going to be aware of the biases. So the more we use it, the less the biases will be there, the more action will be taken to mitigate those biases.
Yeah, and try applying with a name like Maninder.
Yeah. Or Paul.
Yeah, Paul. My last name is Paul, and I used to get a lot of calls, and I used to be like, actually, that's not the role that I applied for, because they would consider my name as Paul, thinking I'm a male. So there was a bias already. But this is interesting, because there was a study as well wherein they said that if you upload your CV right now, you would see that I think 20% jobs are only given to women because of the whole AI bias at the moment. And when now that AI is screening more and more of it, you have to think about how you can actually be teaching AI, not learning from AI. So you have to consistently feed about yourself in order to that AI really learning that there are women with career opportunities, with job titles like that, because there are huge biases right now. So just a little quiz here. Which out of these do you think is a real image, out of these four? Anyone wants to guess? Pizza?
Yep.
Sorry, which one?
Supermarket.
Supermarket. None of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. None of them. But when I saw that, it was very hard for me to spot any issues with that. They are becoming so real, they're evolving so much, that it's very hard to now distinguish between a real or a fake image. That's another thing that we have to think about, which is why I said when you look at the data set and when you are not part of data set, if you are a 40, 50-year-old woman and you are not putting things like I'm the CEO or a director or whatever, it's not going to pick up from large language models. So, what's the secret sauce to AI? So this is an interesting campaign that Heinz did. And they basically asked, let's draw ketchup. And they asked AI to draw ketchup. So what does this show? That ketchup is Heinz. And it does show that AI has actually picked it up from everywhere, wherever Heinz is, whether it's outdoor, social, organic, TV. So as AI has actually learned from that brand that ketchup can only look like Heinz, that's the power of data.
But also, more and more LLMs are going to be recommending your products. You know that, right? So the brands, they are going to recommend. If somebody says, get me a noise cancelling headphone under 200 pounds, it's going to give recommendations. And so all the brands here, you all need to make sure that your website is readable by LLMs. You have to make sure, and there is actually ChatGPT has a form that you can fill up to say that you want to be included. They can contact you when the submissions are open. So DM us if you need more information or help with any of those things. But yes, people are going to stop browsing very soon.
Yeah, I think if you go to ChatGPT and ask anything related, even if you're not in the buying mindset, and you say, I'm looking for something for like my hair, whatever, it will actually start showing ads on top of that. It's become another way of Google shopping, but on the ChatGPT, so people are not even going to a lot of Google shopping sites now because they get access to things like that now. And where Sumati said there are specific settings that brands need to be mindful, and a lot of brands are already leaping there in order to make sure that their products are being showcased. So advertising as well will change quite a lot, digital advertising, wherein you're not just looking at Meta, LinkedIn, and programmatic. You also have to now diversify and go beyond that. So that's something to think about when it comes to even your own personal brand. I mean, this is incidental because now whenever people are looking for, subject matter experts in AI, I'm not saying we are, but because we post and we share a lot about AI, it does get picked up, by Perplexity or other tools wherein they do tend to recognize people who have been mentioned at different places. So that's the power of organic now that's coming up because of the AI tools as well. So in terms of how does Gen AI work? So have you heard about something called tokens? Anybody here? No, not too many people. So do you want to explain?
Yeah, so Gen AI, the LLMs are basically prediction machines. The way they work is they work based on what is the next most probable. It's a probabilistic. It is not deterministic. So people make a big mistake by taking whatever LLM gives as the truth. It's not deterministic, it's probabilistic. Whatever, based on all the trawling it has done on the internet, it has figured out what is the most probable next word is going to be when you ask a question. So it starts getting the response. So the token basically represents how much context you have of the question, how many. So if you have long conversations with ChatGPT, if you have used, you realize that it starts to sort of hallucinate. That's the word we use. It starts to hallucinate because it cannot keep a lot of information in memory. So there are ways of using ChatGPT so that it remembers what you've done before. It has its intrinsic memory. You can create custom GPTs, or you can create what are called projects within ChatGPT, which will help you come back and use your own material and answer the questions. So the way it works is, if you say the sun rises it knows east is the most probable answer. So that gets the most probability there.
Yeah, so what Sumati was explaining here is, can they actually think like humans? So it's essentially when you have large amount of text, say from places like Wikipedia, news articles, forum, whatever you can think about, the AI algorithm layered on top of it means that it can do those predictions for you, which is why when you would ask a question like the sun rises in, so because it's gathered all that information, the large information, it will then spit out the most probable thing. So it's not factual, it's probability. They are not smart, but they are pattern matchers. So they look at the training data, and that's how they do the pattern matching. So it's something to also think about when you are thinking about your own client projects or your own work. If you are feeding that information, there are ways that it will remember, it will memorize, and you can actually iterate on that, and you can refine it as you go along. So, I mean, has anybody watched Queen's Gambit? I'm a huge fan of that. And I was thinking how she was basically playing in this big male-dominated championship. And some of the things that I thought attributes of that really drew upon how we are thinking about AI when it comes to women. So it's always about the context over control. So you have to think about the context. It's not about controlling that, what can I really get out of it, but what do you want to solve? The context has to be there. Then you also have to have the curiosity. So every time you are doing something with the AI, you have to be curious enough to understand, like, why did it do that and why not this? So, there can be times when you do the same prompt and it might have different answers. And you also have to be more tactical. It's not about technicality. Like I said, there are non-coding platforms, so you have to think about how tactically you can use it for your work purpose. So it's, again, going back to the same thing about the brief that you give to the AI is the important element here. Also about the adaptability. So you are not, like, if you think about the character here, again, she was very adaptable. She knew that she was in this wide world of male champions playing, and she really had to adapt to that. And there's also the empathy. So empathy is a big thing that we talk
Yeah.
about. Do you want to touch upon that? I mean, it's essentially just saying that because when we are prompting as well.
Yeah, you can ask ChatGPT to take on a role that you wanted to take, and that makes it easier for ChatGPT to respond to you, right? You can, and you also need to give the LLM the agency to say that I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Before you start your whatever it is that you're saying. Okay, so give me some stats on why influencer marketing is whatever, right? If it doesn't know, you have to say something like, okay, if you do, give me only the facts, give me the source for whatever information that you give me. And if you don't know, tell me you don't know. Don't make up stuff, right? So you have to give it and that's why AI literacy is very important. If you don't know AI, and if you don't do it properly, you're going to take it as a binary. You're going to see, wow, it's magic, or oh, it's rubbish. It's neither. You need to know how much to push it, how much to drill down until you get what you want. And there are certain things it will not do. It's quite bad at maths.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite bad at looking at images and telling you what it is. If you scan numbers, it's not very good at reading. I've done a lot of experiments on that. So when Sam Altman says, super intelligence is coming, AGI is coming, I'm like, oh, okay, sort that out first, right? So it's a long way off, but it is a fact that it's going to change each one of our lives in a significant manner in a very short time.
Yeah, I mean, for empathy, if you want to teach your children who are preparing for 11 plus, try ChatGPT maths.
It's quite rubbish. Yeah.
You don't even have to be super in maths. Basic calculations can sometimes, you really have to check, and it will say, I'm really, and they don't, ChatGPT earlier never used to say sorry to me. It would say, I missed that. And I was thinking, okay, so it's non-apologetic about it. So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So are we able to show the demo?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Let's do the video from there.
Oh, okay.
So, shall I do it in this?
So we'll do a little demo, and this is something that Sumati built, Labor of Love, on a hackathon that she recently did, and it's really, really cool. And it's live as well, right?
Before I do the demo, maybe I'll. How many of you have heard of something called Manus AI?
Okay, one person, two.
A few, okay. So Manus AI can create really amazing research by conducting deep research on any topic. So if people want to shout out a topic, I'm going to start that. It takes a little bit longer to finish the research. So you're going to give me a topic. I'm going to start the research on this. We'll do the demo of what I'm going to show, and then we'll come back to see what it has created. And this is also a flavor of what agentic AI, which everyone hears so much, is going to look like in future, where you give AI a job and you go on to have your coffee, go on to do whatever, and you come back, it's finished your work. So does anyone want to shout a topic that's your main pain point? You want some research on it?
Anybody? Come on.
No? How social media affects young women at school. That's a great topic. I have a 13-year-old. So I'm going to do a new task. Can you see this? You can see this. Yeah?
This is empathy as well. You have to wait. Sorry? Zoom in. Can you zoom in? Can you see? It also accepts wrong spellings.
So you see how now Manas is thinking. So it'll ask some questions if it's unclear, but it tells you what all it's going to do. It's going to research social media effects. And so this is Manas's terminal. So this is what it's doing behind the scene. You see, it's browsing. So this is what I mean by people are not going to use browsers anymore. It's only the robots, the agents are going to be using the browsers, not people. So there is a futuristic theory that your phone is not going to look like the phone that you have right now. Our phones, Apple iPhones and all the Google phones, are designed for browsing because they took that shape from a Nokia little phone that we had. It became this with a big screen because people were browsing. So in future, in 10 years, your phones are not going to look like this. There are going to be a lot more voice activation. There's going to be a lot more widgets which you will run your agents. There'll be agents. You'll click on it and you'll say, get me my pizza, get me my dinner or whatever. And it's going to go and do all the ordering behind the scenes. So this is the future. That's what's happening. While that is doing that, I'm going to show. Do you want to show the video from the other thing? We'll just show the project, the video. This is a product that we created. There is a vibe coding app tool called Bolt. Bolt had its largest hackathon with 122,000 people who participated in it. Women Defining AI, that we are members of, fielded about 50 women into the hackathon, I want to say about 8 to 10 teams. And this was my submission with 3 other members. We built a product called Next Wage, which is a voice-based resume builder. So we'll just show you what.
Hi, looks like you are going for your next wage. I'll pull together your work story in about 10 minutes. Ready? Give me your full name. Now, to help set the stage for employers, could you describe what you do in one sentence and what you aspire to do in your career? Got it. And your email address, please?
sulmac@gmail.com.
Entendido. ¿Hay algo más que te gustaría añadir a tu currículum? Fantastic. We have everything for your resume. Bye for now and good luck.
So I also created this video myself in under 2 hours. I used VO3. Anyone heard of VO3? Google Gemini's. So I used VO3 for the first 3 video clips that you see, and used Napkin AI for some of these. These are using Napkin AI, and Canva. I'm sure a lot of you use Canva. So Canva AI is also very good. And this whole product was built using voice interface by 11 Labs, if you're familiar with it. Very easy integration. They've got an AI assistant which you can connect to your product, to Bolt, and basically you tell 11 Labs AI assistant what you want it to do in plain English. And you tell OpenAI assistant what it should do with the conversation in plain English. So there is no coding involved, and you can build a product, and that's live. So you can use it. Basically, people can use it. It still needs a lot of the user authentication. It needs a lot of other things. It's an MVP, but you can get to 0 to MVP very fast. So that's the beauty of being able to do it using plain English. You don't need to be technical. Now let's see what has happened to Manas. Or can I just move here? Yeah. Okay, it's still going.
Does it say how much time? I think it's also because of the Wi-Fi.
It's still working. Yeah, it's 2 out of 4. It's still gathering, so it's doing a lot of research at the moment, but we can continue with the...
Yeah, I think we've been nearly done with the...
Okay. Let me show you in the meantime. Have you used Napkin? Okay.
I think it's also because of the Wi-Fi connection. It's usually quicker.
Yeah. Can you see this? Okay, so this is what I gave about next wage. And you can click on any of these things, and you click on this.
So this is a great tool if you want to create like infographics or graphs and visual aspects that you need for your white papers, ebooks.
So you see how you can flip through all these designs, and you can pick the one that you want, whatever design you want.
And you can also define your own brand colors and...
Yeah. So once you click it, you can see what colors that you want. And this is free. I am not on any paid version. This is free. So you do napkin.ai, go there, and type whatever you want, and it can just create your, like, improving voice input and user trust. So you just click on any challenges we faced. So that's Napkin AI. I definitely recommend using that. And it's still working on this. 4 minutes.
I think it's taking a long time.
It's 3 out of 4 it's done. So it's almost there. Have you used Gamma? No? Yes? So gamma.app, again, is another very powerful tool. And these are all free tools. These are not even expensive. You don't have to. You just have to sign up for them. Let me quickly show Gamma as well. So I'm going to say create new using AI. I'm going to say from a one prompt, I'm going to say social media impact on So you can select the theme that you want. So let's say that. And then I say generate. So basically, you never have to go from blank page ever. You never have to start any of your project from a blank page. So it was a single sentence prompt that created this. Let me just go back and see.
It also searches for all the stats for you. So if you've seen that one, that has... Is it done?
Yeah. This is the Manus research challenges. 92% of teen girls on social are using YouTube, platform usage, body image, depression and anxiety, suicide risk. And it gives you all the sources as well, where it got all the information from, the charts, positive aspects, school-based interventions that is possible, recommendation for governors, conclusion and Q&A.
So you've got two different outputs for this topic, right? You've got gamma as well as this, but this is very comprehensive.
You can see how comprehensive this is, and it took, I think, 5 minutes to generate this. You can go and check all the files it used. You can go and click on the source. You can go review the source. You can take it to Notebook LLM, which is another Google's product, and say that I don't want this. You can do research in multiple sources and come back and do any of these.
So that's a little bit of flavor what we built and what AI can really do, and you can start now. Thank you.